Who's that, Sammy?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, how are you? How are you?
I'm good. I was cleaning up and I said, let me just check messages. And I'm like, oh, there's a Zoom meeting. Let me see if I can plug in my headphones.
How are you? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Karibu.
Thanks.
So we are live. Okay. And I've just sent the invitation to guys, so guys should be logging in anytime. Awesome. You want to say hi to George, the two Georges?
Hey, Mr. George, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. We are good. Good to see you, man.
That's good. Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Asante. We value you, Bwana.
Ata sisi, we value you too, man. This is good.
Asante. We love SAMRACkians. SAMRACkians are good people.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. What time is it there now?
About 9:50, 9:10.
Oh, wow. It's late, huh?
No, we are good. We are here for this purpose.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, George, before people log on, I wanted to ask you,
yes,
there in Kajiado, is that fresh water or is it salty water?
Kajiado is purely borehole, so we say saline water, but we purify with the new equipment from Davis and Shatcliffe.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was to text you and I forgot. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, let's wait for a few more guys, then we begin.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Nice. Sammy, how's everything? Sammy? Sam? Oh, I think he stepped out, yeah. George, are you familiar with Wakenya Pamoja?
Yes, I think one time I sponsored them.
Oh, wonderful, yes.
Actually, twice, yes.
Oh,
it's
nice.
A very nice group.
Yeah, Sam is one of the top guys there.
Sam Duga is also a very good customer.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's a good man.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maggie, welcome. Maggie, are you in? Okay, just send me text. Okay, very good. Maggie, karibu. Connecting to audio. Do you want me to play music or we just wait for people?
Yeah, play some music as people come in.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Actually, the meeting was supposed to begin at 2, is it 2:20? But it's good. That's good. Let me see.
2:10 actually. 2:10, yes.
2:10. Oh, wonderful.
So we are within because here is 9:14, so we are within.
We are very good. Yeah, thank you.
Betty, how was your day?
My day was good, Mr. George.
Fantastic. That's nice.
Yeah,
are you going to Boni?
Maybe virtually.
Okay.
We can support, yeah.
Yeah, because of the government regulation. So
sure.
We can send a few reps.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah, but we keep praying. We keep praying for her.
We keep praying, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, shall be well. Nice. Now you have seen SAMRACK one-on-one.
Oh, yes, one-on-one, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Mm.
Let me send more requests.
That's okay.
Maggie, karibu.
Asante sana.
Yeah, very good. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Karibu sana. Very good, very good. What time is it there?
It's 9:15.
Oh, wow, wow, okay. Oh, same time zone with George.
Yes.
Nice, nice. Here is
Yes.
2:16. Saturday 2:16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but most people are indoors.
Okay.
But they've started to reopen. Like tomorrow, churches will be reopened. But we must maintain the social distance. Sanitize before and after. Yeah. Yeah. I think we can begin, if that's okay, as we wait for the other guys. Is that okay?
Yeah, we can. Since you're recording, we can, yes.
Yes, this will be, it's actually live on Facebook. No, live on YouTube, and we'll edit the other part and we'll get the whatever from the beginning.
That's okay.
Welcome to SAMRACK Diaspora Media and Updates. Tonight, we have Optiven. Optiven is a company that has a large presence in the diaspora, not just in the US, but also UK, Sweden, Germany, Dubai, Tanzania, Uganda, all those big countries. I'm not sure whether they're in Russia, but trust me, I'm sure they have someone there. They're doing very well. It's not a company that we are just used to. We know each other very well. They've been here in Massachusetts for quite a number of times, in the US for quite a number of times. I would say your diaspora presence has been, we've had this relationship more than, I would say, 10 years. And we are very privileged to have you, George Washiuri, the CEO of Optiven. And we have a few other Optiven members. I'll ask Maggie and George to say one or two things, but officially welcome and welcome everyone. This is a recorded message, so we'll share it after this. Karibuni, everyone, and you guys are doing a good job. Welcome, George.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Maybe I can allow my team members to say something, and let me say that even before they speak, as SAMRACK and SAMRACkians, all of them, we love you. You have been supporting the Optiven vision of economic and socially empowering the communities, and we are very, very excited to be in partnership with SAMRACK. So I'll ask my able team members to say something and also to appreciate SAMRACK for the partnership that we had for many years, and we don't take that kind of support lightly. And also the diasporians, they have really supported Optiven. We have done many things together, and we are very, very humbled this afternoon to be able to talk to them and to share a few things, a few thoughts with them. So back to the Optiven team to say something. Muteti.
Yes. All right. Good afternoon. My name is George Muteti, Senior Sales Manager, Optiven Real Estate. And we want to take this opportunity to appreciate SAMRACK Forum for the support they have accorded us. And as a result of this, Optiven as a brand is, is getting known across the US. I personally have the privilege of traveling around the world, and I've come to the US many, many times, and especially so in Boston, Massachusetts. And we have got quite a number of customers there, and we thank you, for the support you have shown us. Of course, you know that Optiven is a credible company, and because of that, we have been able to penetrate across the diaspora, because what you need there is a credible partner. So thank you so very much.
Maggie.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, SAMRACkians. We are so humbled to be part of the vision. We are so humbled to be part of you. We really appreciate your support. We cannot be where we are without you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate, and we look forward to doing so many business together. Thank you, and God bless you.
Asante sana. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Muteti, and thank you for enabling this forum this afternoon. And on behalf of Optiven family, we are very, very thankful. We are grateful for the support, especially through the SAMRACkians. I know that we have tens and tens of customers who have really supported the Optiven vision. We have customers at Victory. We have Sam Thuge, who was there before. You know, he has been supporting us. We have been working together with his group, and I'm happy to say that Optiven has been a real partner, especially to the diasporas, not only getting finances from diaspora, but also giving back, supporting them. We have been supporting quite a number of associations, and we are happy that life is about giving. Life is about supporting one another. Life is about lifting one another, because we are meant by our Maker, God himself, to be part and parcel of each other. So as we do business, we are very, very intentional to create a relationship, to create friendship. And I'm happy to see that before this show, I was talking to Nancy Moido, who is also our good rep there. And I'm happy to say that a lot of things are happening. And of course, we also thank God for keeping us alive. You know, we are all aware of what is happening across the globe, especially during this time of COVID-19 that has taken everybody with us in a surprise. You know, the scientists, the doctors, the presidents, and the world will never be the same again. The same with us with Optiven. You know, for the last couple of months, we've been working from home, and of course from the site offices, whereby we no longer go to the office, but our offices now is the project. So if it is Kiambu, we go to Amandi, we stay there because they are classified as low risk. So a lot of things are happening, and of course you have seen a lot of activities, especially from the government side. You know, economy-wise, we have also seen a lot of changes, and I'm happy to say that Optiven is part and parcel of the teams that have been lobbying, you know, with government to do a few things, especially for small business people. Because as we realize that when the economy in Kenya was closed down, the major casualties were people who do businesses, entrepreneurs, you know, people working in hospitality, in hotels, restaurants. Because I remember, like for us at Optiven, we operate a few restaurants, and we all closed on 20th of March. You can imagine now people are at home, you know, and it has been tough, especially in most of the businesses. But of course, we thank God that we are alive, and we have seen a lot of people recovering from COVID-19, and we must appreciate the role played by government, because they have been on the forefront in partnership with the media to sensitize Kenyans on the importance of sanitizing, importance of social distancing, importance of Kenyans taking care. And I'm happy that many Kenyans have really taken government instructions seriously. And you go to town today, you go to the city of Nairobi, you go to the city of Kitengela, you see different counties, people are wearing masks, you know, people are sanitizing. And I'm happy to see that the business community have adhered to these Ministry of Health regulations, and we really thank God for that. But of course, as we talk about the effect of economy, there are other sectors of the economy that are benefiting. We have seen a lot of activities, especially in the health sector. You know, we have seen a lot of things happening. Today, we had an announcement from His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta that they are going to increase the number of healthcare workers, and they have created that a sizable budget. So the health sector is coming up well. And of course, other than the health sector, we have seen manufacturing come, you know, being born afresh. You know, we have seen a lot of activities, people doing tailoring. Can you imagine? We have seen the birth of industries. We have seen tailors coming together and making masks. Right now, they are making African type of mask, and we have seen a lot of people doing, you know, a lot of things. And of course, other sectors that have benefited is agriculture, because though we are hibernating in our houses, at the end of the day, we must eat. And you have seen a lot of people mutating, some entrepreneurs mutating to supply food, you know, to deliver food from the country to the cities. And of course, food is classified as essential services, so they are able to travel. And you've seen a lot of in that particular sector. Of course, another interesting thing that you have discovered is the construction sector. Construction has literally gone up. The other day we were lobbying with the county of Nairobi to approve, building plans worth about 230 billion. That means that people are building. And the other day I was asking to our contractors, what is happening? Is because now people are not going to the offices. Maybe they had a dream of doing their own homes, and they're now going to sites. And you have seen a lot of work. If you go to some of our projects we are doing, Victory Gardens, you go to, the other projects you're doing, you see a lot of customers now setting up their own homes. And definitely the construction sector is doing a lot of work. I was talking to the CEO for one of the cement factories, Portland Cement. There are queues, people buying cement. You go to Darugo, lorries are queuing, felling Darugo stones because there's a lot of activities in the construction sector. Of course, we have seen a lot of demand for residential properties, especially plots, because people have realized you may be staying in an apartment, but apartments are classified as medium risk. So there's a risk of COVID in those crowded areas. So people have discovered that they want their own particular piece of land. They do their own particular home there. And these particular areas, they are classified as low risk. Places like Victory Gardens are managed the place of peace. And you have seen an uptick, people visiting these particular projects. The other beneficiary for this season is retail sector, especially supermarkets. Today I was in the Hub Karen, and the whole parking was packed to capacity because at the end of the day, people are shopping. And I say that we are seeing a lot of activities. And of course, I cannot forget the ICT sector. Oh my goodness. People apps, people supporting Edmondo, the education module. And many companies, even those that were rigid, they are now automating their functions. Even Optiven itself. For the first time, we are able to do a sale agreement online. We are able to send brochures online. So people don't want to touch papers. They don't want to touch letters. So everybody is rushing towards ICT, towards automation. Appraisals ourselves. We are doing appraisals online. So there's a lot of things happening. But of course, there are other sectors that have been affected. And some of these sectors include tourism. Right now, no tourists are coming. Both local tourists, people are not really visiting Mombasa the way they used to visit. So the entire tourism sector is, affected. The hotels, some of the hotels are ghost hotels because there are no customers. And of course, another sector that has really suffered is commercial real estate. Commercial real estate, right now, Optiven, we have offices, but they're idle because we have discovered that people can easily work from home. So this effect may go maybe up to 2 years. And you never know, some people are changing. They are saying, why can't we work from home halfway and halfway maybe in the office or in the sites? So commercial real estate has seen an effect. So you may see drop down of office spaces. And this is true because for us, we have some offices in Kitengela. And we had to drop rent from 10,000 to 7,800. They are small offices for smaller business people. The other sector affected a little bit is financial sector because right now the banks are restructuring, especially loan facilities, giving people like between 6 months up to 1 year so that they give you some moratorium. But of course, these ones are 50-50 because there are other people who are setting up a new industry. So they are going for loan facilities. But the beneficiaries, of course, they are those who implemented, online money. You're not touching money nowadays. Everything is M-Pesa. Everything is online. So we'll see a bit of tilting right there. And of course, maybe some you can ask me and our listeners, how are these sectors coping? How are they coping? I remember the other day we had a huge Zoom meeting with the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, and we were asking ourselves, let's be honest, how are we coping with COVID-19? And I remember some of the people doing real estate talking about how they are now automating their operations. And that particular meeting, we had the people from the lands office, and we were so surprised to see the way at which government is also automating. Today, if you want to do a search, it's online. You want to check where the change of directorship is online, and government is doing a lot of implementation of automation. And maybe this COVID, by the end of it, a lot of things will have changed. Of course, if you look at the education sector, wow, the changes are evident. You know, right now I have 2 boys and a girl right here in my house, and every day they are busy. They are busy doing lessons through through Zoom, for example. Today we saw the government allocating huge, massive amount of money so that the local schools, the government schools, they are able to access internet. And of course, they're also seconding an ICT expert in every school. That means things are changing even in education. If you look at financial sector, we have seen a lot of cashless transactions. You know, Safaricom itself, they upped the volume of money you can hold from up to 300,000. And there is a lot of transactions happening. Today, we saw the president talking about, people buying food through e-voucher. Very interesting. Today, our foundation, we used to give people food. We buy unga, we buy things and we deliver. Nowadays, you send them cash, and then you tell them, once you buy, show us a photo. So things are really happening. Transport, transport was affected, but I've seen them cope. Nowadays they are able to implement the MOH directions, and they have seen our Kenyan people now boarding the public transport, which is very encouraging. But maybe you can also ask, how are entrepreneurs coping? Entrepreneurs like George Washiri, how are we coping with this COVID-19? One of the things that we have learned as entrepreneurs is digitizing. There is no single entrepreneur doesn't know how to use digital tools. The use of the online marketing, the use of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and everybody now, we are saying that millions of Kenyans, they are either online or they are touching their gadgets. So the eyes are online, like what we are doing right here with SAMRACK. And of course, managing teams, entrepreneurs have discovered that we used to see Muteti one-on-one, mundu kwa mundu. But now things have changed. I have a number of days, weeks without seeing Muteti, but I see him on Zoom. I see Maggie on Zoom. So most of the entrepreneurs, they are now learning how to manage virtual teams. How do you manage these teams? And it is catching up very quickly. And for us at Optiven, I think we are doing very, very well. Every day we have meetings. Every Wednesday we have prayers through Zoom. Every Thursdays, and we are able to transact through these digital media tools. And of course, as an entrepreneur, we say that we also engage ourselves in trusting in God, prayers to Naomba. This is the time that I've seen people pray. Though the churches in Kenya are closed, but I've seen churches having a lot of followers online, and we listen to our pastors online, so a lot is happening. And for us entrepreneurs, we trust in God that these things are coming to an end. Of course, there are other entrepreneurs who are mutating. They are changing their businesses. I have a friend of mine who, before COVID, he used to do a lot of printing. Today, he's supplying sanitizers. They're able to mutate. And then finally, we have seen a very, very high speed of digitization to the private and also the government sectors. And we might see more changes going forward because last week we were told we must learn how to live with this virus. And I'll put a comma there just in case there is any addition or a comment or a question. I can see a few people have joined so that we are able to, to talk to one another, to sharpen one another. I like this guy called John Maxwell. He says that when the people talk like when we are talking right here in this particular forum, we are able to sharpen one another because no one is a well of knowledge. We all learn from one another, and more so from diasporians. I think we would say, Muteti, myself, Maggie, and Optiven team, we have really picked and learned a lot from diaspora. In fact, people are asking, how are you changing your project so fast? It's because we have seen projects in Europe, projects in the US, and we are almost doing similar projects right here in Kenya. If you look at Amani Ridge, you may think you're in the US. We are doing it, bigger roads, better infrastructure, green energy, because we are learning from each other. Back to Sam.
Thank you very much, George Washiri, Chairman and CEO of Optiven, with a very good diaspora presence. Karibuni, everyone else. I can see Jenga there. I can see Vero and other people. My question for you is, how do you predict the diaspora remittances in the next couple of months? Do you think there'll be an increase, or do you think it's gonna decrease, increase, or be stable?
I think from the, of course, we are really expecting the increase to be slightly higher. But from the look of things, for us, for us, Optiven, we have some customers. We sell our projects on installments. We have gotten some customers who are saying that they might delay, and of course, we are giving them an interest-free period of 6 months, whereby we don't charge you any interest. And this has happened to quite a number of products that diaspora buy. So we may see some reduced increase. However, there's a lot of dependence, especially families living in Kenya. I think most of them are now depending on stipend sent by their diaspora relatives to Kenya. So there might be some increase, but not as much as we expected. And most of this increase might go to supporting the families that are agonizing, buying food. However, we have also seen a few more people who are also trying to invest in real estate. So from my prediction, the increase may not be as high as we had predicted before COVID.
Oh, very good.
Maybe, yeah.
That jumps to
Maybe
my other question is, do you think the cost of building material will go up, and will it affect the land prices or the housing prices?
Let me say that as I speak to you, the cost of building materials is going up. For example, we have been buying a lorry of sand at 32,000. As I speak to you now, today we are buying some sand for Amani Ridge. We are doing a security wall, and we are buying the same truck at 40,000 Kenya shillings. The only people who have sustained the building materials is the cement people. They have been very patient, and they have sustained the price of cement. But the price of sand, which contribute a very big portion, the price of the stones have gone up. In fact, stones have gone up by about 5 to 7.5%. So we might find the cost of construction go up. Why? Because there are many, especially people developing residential areas, who are now building. So the more the demand and the supply remains constant, the price will go up. So we might find some price hikes. Yes.
Thank you very much. The other question is, pre and post COVID season, are there some things we'll go back to, or are there some things we'll never go back to? For example, you mentioned schools are now doing Zooms, correct, in Kenya? Do you think they'll continue doing online classes? Yes. Or they'll go back? You mentioned churches are now using, is it M-Pesa as compared to cash? Are there things that we'll never go back to after this COVID season?
I think this COVID is a true teacher. COVID is a lecturer, and COVID is teaching entrepreneurs, individuals, communities, societies to behave differently, to think differently, to do things differently. And I can tell you, a lot of things will never be the same again. A lot of things will change. A good example is an African doesn't say hi to another African. Yani, hakuna kusalimiana. It's like a norm now. I can see my own pastor. I am tempted to say hi to him, but I can't. And of course, you see a lot of things change, and some of the things is going to be people working from home. I've talked to a number of CEOs, and they said, wait a minute, people can be able to, some sectors, people can be able to work from home easily, other than maybe restaurants and hotels and other services. But there are some areas whereby people can easily work from home. Take, for example, people who are offering the ICT services. They can be able to do presentation online. They can be able to support you online. They need a commercial space, a seat to sit on. They only need a space in their home, and they are able to deliver. Of course, there are other industries that we cannot be able to work from home. Maybe people in the medical sector. You require your physical presence. But I can tell you, I can promise that a lot of things will change. If you want to see a good indicator, is what His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta did today, allocating huge budget for school to hire ICT experts. That means they are projecting, if this COVID continues, we might find more schools picking up these online studies. And a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are already changing. a good example is meetings. In fact, for me, I sympathize with the people who have got big conference facilities and host big meetings. You know, people have discovered that you can host 500 people in a forum like this, the Zoom, and we have been doing it. I've seen a private sector do many meetings on Zoom. So that's a sound a bell that in future, the demand for Hilton, the demand for Radisson in Kenya, the demand for these conference facilities will definitely come down. The same with the entertainment. In fact, as SAMRACkians, another industry affected is entertainment. It may never be the same again. Because right now, even if you open the country now, Kenya, not many people are so confident to go and enjoy themselves the way they used to enjoy themselves. So we expect a lot of changes. And I know there are some entrepreneurs listen to me, career people listen to me. Somebody said, if you want to shine in the future, check a talent that is needed after COVID. And that's why people who are in the health sector, of course, they are in huge demand. Today, I saw the government says they are going to hire another 10,000 nurses in Kenya to support the health sector.
Very good. Back to Optiven. What is the real opportunity for the diaspora people in Optiven?
I'll give this to Muteti, but of course, before I give this to Muteti, I would say that Optiven has been supported by Kenyan people, especially out of the country, and also the local Kenyan people, especially in buying spaces whereby they can do a lot of diaspora people liking what we do, because remember, some years back, people used to buy bare plots. They were calling it plot maguta maguta. You know, you buy a plot, you cannot build on it. But the time we started talking about transformation, value-added plots, the wave went across to other developers, and the people are liking it, whereby when you come to a project like Victory Gardens, already the water is there, the power is there. Right now we are doing solar street lighting, you know, the trees are planted. So you have all the facilities. The only thing you require is look for money, build a home in your own pace, your own specifications, and then you are able to live in a gated community, and the people are liking this idea because, you know, you are not squeezed. And those are the opportunities that we are offering diaspora, residential plots, and we have seen an uptick go up. And why is it going up? Because we are able to understand the diasporians. You know, we are able to give them in 1 year, in 2 years, and I have seen a lot of them. They are actually doing homes at in most of our projects. We have seen a big association in the US, Association for Women, and they came up together. They bought quite a number of plots. Right now, most of them, they are setting up their homes, and they are doing very beautiful homes. And of course, those who are in the diaspora, there are some that we are trying to get tenants through our sister company called P. But of course, Muteti is sharper than me in terms of dealing with the diaspora. I'll ask him to say something. Muteti.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. George, for this opportunity. I'm humbled. And it's true, diaspora people have a lot of opportunities in Optiven in terms of investment. And one of the reasons is because we know that you've got a lot of bills to pay in diaspora. So the model we use as Optiven, two-steps approach to home ownership resonates well with you in diaspora because you know, this model we normally use, you find it's the member diaspora find it cheaper because, like for instance, in the outskirts of Nairobi, you may find that a bungalow in places like Kitengela is going for like 8 to 10 million, whereas a maisonette goes for 12 to 15 million, depending on its proximity to the city. But you find that not many people here in Kenya who can afford that, and even in diaspora, quite a number of people may find it difficult because of many bills, you know, you pay there. So the approach we use as Optiven, two steps up, whereby you acquire, first of all, you acquire a value-added plot, and then step number 2 is construction. You find that that will resonate very well with a lot of people because, and especially due to the model we use, the installment model. So people find it easier to invest slowly by slowly. So that way, people in diaspora will find it good. Secondly, you also find that property here in Kenya is appreciating very fast. And for that reason, quite a number of people, you'll find that in Optiven, you can acquire property for speculation purposes. Yes, Mr. Washura has talked about, for residential and also for commercial. So even we have got properties for speculation, whereby you buy a property, a plot, a valuated plot, and you give it time. So you find that down the line, let's say in 5 years' time, you find that it has appreciated a lot. Just to give an example, the property we have in Kitengela, which is barely like Victory Gardens, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, which is barely 16.2 miles from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. That property now going for more or less 2.295 million, you give it like in 5 years' time, the same property will be going for around 10 million. So that way, a lot of diaspora clients will find it good if they could buy now and give it a little bit of time, and they do it. They speculate ideally for capital gain. But again, quite a number of diaspora clients who may not be in a hurry, to come to Kenya, they purchase these properties, and we have seen that especially in Kitengela, they purchase these properties to build a beautiful bungalow, a beautiful maisonette, and now they rent it on Airbnb, which is taking shape around the world. And that way, they are able to earn money here in Kenya, as they also earn in diaspora, because these homes for Airbnb, they're really making money out of it, because like a night, they may charge around $50 per night, $60 per night, like $60 per night, that's like 6,000 Kenya shillings per night. So you find that by the end of the month, they are making some good money. So that way, quite a number of the diaspora clients will have a lot to invest with Optiven, because it's assisting them to make money even when they are in diaspora. Yes, thank you.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much. I'm going to open the forum to anyone with a question. Or you could use the chat option down here. Anyone with a question for Optiven? More questions for Optiven? Okay, I have a question for Optiven. Recently, I think you partnered with a bank to provide loans. Can you tell us more about that? I think I read an article that you partnered with a bank that diaspora people can be able to access loans. Or was it a SACCO? I'm not very sure.
Yeah, maybe I can mention about that. Yeah, we have partnered with
thank you.
Yes. All right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we have partnered with banks, and especially Equity Bank, for some of our projects like luxurious, thicker superhighway properties, whereby customers will be, those who want will be financed they raise like 10%, and then the bank raises the 90%, and they are given 10 years to clear. So this model of partnering with the bank is again resonating very well with our clients locally here and in diaspora, because they are finding it easy. As I mentioned, you guys have got a lot of bills to pay there. So this model resonates very well, because given 10 years to pay for this property, you find that you can as well do other things at the same time. And later now, you could, bring your resources together and pay it off. You don't have to go for 10 years. Like quite a number of people from the house who are taking loans with like Equity Bank, you find that even though they are given a 10 years period, they may not go for that. They just want to organize their affairs so that maybe in 1 or 2 or 3 years, they pay it off to save on interest. So this model of partnering with banks is also good, and it's helping quite a number of people locally in Kenya and also in diaspora.
George, you had a comment? Also to add on that, Sam?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Muteti. We have actually also partnered with the NCBA Bank. Remember, NCBA, they merged with the NIC, and CDA. So it's now, I think, the third biggest bank in Kenya. And they're working very closely together. You only need to identify a property, maybe could a manage in Kiabu, could be in Kitengela, could be in Machakos, could be Peace Gardens in Nyeri. And once you identify financing both the plot and construction, so they give you 5% subject to ability to pay. And there are quite a number of diasporians who have picked this particular option, whereby the bank has got their own contractors, their own architects. So the money is not paid to anybody else. Money is paid for the plot, and the consortium in the bank is paid by the bank to ensure the quality of construction. So that's also a partnership that many people have picked up. And of course, we have partnered with Kenya Women in Diaspora, PLC in North America. And these are a group of women that have been investing for the last 1 year with Optiven, and they have negotiated their own deal. So you must be a member of Kenya Women Diaspora for you to enjoy the deal with Optiven. And that has been picked so well. And these women, some, they are really investing. Wow, they are really investing. Maybe we need to go to Men's Association to give them a tip so that they also start investing. And they are also able to negotiate. They're able to negotiate a very serious long-term deal with Optiven. And of course, us giving them a lot of guarantees that there's no chances of losing money. And of course, we have also partnered with Kenya Diaspora SACCO. Kenya Diaspora SACCO, they have been financing their members, and we have quite a number of members, that have been financed by this SACCO. And this has been very, very interesting. So we are open to partnerships, because for us is to ensure that we enable our people in diaspora to acquire something. And as we celebrate 20 years in business, I think we have a lot of stories to tell. We are seeing people coming from America, Europe, South Africa, investing with Optiven. And we are happy to say that most of them have got already houses, their relatives are in them, others are renting. And we are very humbled for the support, Sam.
Very good. My other question is, I'm sure you've traveled more than 20 countries outside Kenya, correct? What trends,
Yes.
or what diaspora trends do you pick up, do you learn, or can you share with your viewers? And then the other question is, how easy is your application? Or has anything changed during this COVID-19 season? Is it online, or do we have to scan something? And what are the requirements? Do you require particular documents from our end? Do you require them to be notarized?
Wow.
What's the process of acquiring a property or having an intention to get a property?
Wow, thank you, Sam. And we have actually developed an application. It's called the Optiven app, Shamba Mkononi, whereby once you download this particular app, either on Play Store or App Store, you are able to see all the properties, all the projects. You can actually see where the plot is. You can, it's a very small file. It's about 3 MB. You can be able to identify which plot is available, which is not available. You can get updates from this particular app called Shamba Mkononi or Optiven app. And this app has become extremely popular. And of course, it has also got a referral. When you refer somebody, you can earn from 20,000 Kenya shillings all the way to 50,000 Kenya shillings. And you're seeing a lot of diaspora supporters that have picked this particular app, and they are referring people to us. Every mature referral, you get money. You earn money with it, and it has become very popular with the youth. Of course, once you select a particular property, you can even select the mode of payment. Do you want to pay in 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years? And it has become very, very popular. And of course, what we have done is that we are able to send you a sale agreement online. I'm happy that the government the other day gazetted that they do the online signatures. So we are able to link the agreement with the lawyer to sign online. The only thing you're waiting for the government to approve is a transfer online. So of course, that one is not yet agreed upon by the 53 land registries, but we are in the discussion with the government to ensure that people can be able to transact the entire process online. And I'm happy that the 53 registries, they are very active digitizing the records. So this issue of people losing money, brokers eating your money will be a thing of the past. So we have actually done online documentation up to maybe 70%. So we are able to transact online. And of course, maybe I'll ask Muteti to comment on something in terms of easiness of buying a property with Optiven online without necessarily face-to-face.
All right. Yeah. Maybe in regard to the Optiven app, Mr. George has mentioned that through that you can be able to get rewards. But again, also through this app, you can be able to book a site visit online. And again, by use of Google Coordinates, you can be able to view your property. Because by this Google Coordinates, you are able to narrow down and also see your property at the palm of your hand from wherever you are around the world. And also this application also has got an inbuilt calculator whereby you can be able to calculate. You can be able to calculate once you do. You put the minimum deposit. You can be able to see the monthly installments you're gonna pay, be it for 6 months, be it for 12 months, or even for 24 months. And again, through this Optiven app, you'll be able to see testimonials or experiences of other clients around the world who have purchased properties with us. So it's a very good app which would encourage you to download. If let's say you are using an iPhone, you go to your browser and you type plots at optiven.co.ke, you'll be able to see this app. You download and install it, and you can be able to earn through this. You can be able to purchase property through this, which is a good thing. Or if you are using an Android phone, you just go to Play Store and you search for Optiven app, and you'll be able to install it. So this is making it easier for people to purchase properties around the world. Of course, in regards to purchase requirements, it's imperative to mention that once you view the subdivision map, and of course we have sent you the sale agreement, later there are what you call closing documents, whereby we will send you the application for consent to transfer and transfer form, so that you can be able to fill this in. And of course this comes when you complete a payment of your property, and at that point in time we will require a copy of your Kenyan ID or passport, whichever you have, and passport number, whichever you have, and also a passport size photograph, so that we can be able to facilitate the issuance of the title at your names. Thank you.
Hi, I have a question. Thank you, George, and the Optiven team for your presentation, and especially for your corporate social responsibility programs. Very much appreciated and admired. Two-part question. The first part, I think you mentioned that Optiven right now is giving their current customers some form of deferment. Is a deferment on payments, or is a deferment on just the interest only? And if it's the interest, are you still required to make the monthly contributions? Then my follow-up question is this one here. If you can give me an example of any land that Optiven has sold and has acquired value, I'm really interested in that.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. I can see your name is Jeshi. Yeah, asante sana. Yes, we are actually allowing, because we give our customers on installments, so we are allowing the new customers to buy a property, and we give you 6 months whereby we don't charge you any interest. A good example is one of the projects we are calling Victory Gardens. So if you pick it up and 6 months you don't pay interest, by the end of the day, 5,000 months, you'll be required to be making installments, as usual. And for those who are paying installments, who are already in the program, of course, we are also deducting, a 6 months installment amount. So if you are be paying installment of maybe 92,000, you'll be paying about 81,000 and a few hundreds, and the people really appreciate it. And basically that's it. I'll leave it to Muteti to tell you maybe one of the projects that we have done transformation, so that we can also bring you on board to join the Optiven family. Muteti.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. George, and thank you, Sam, for your question. So one of the properties that we have done value add and is picking up very, very, very well, it's Victory Gardens, because we have done phase 1, we have done phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and phase 5. Of course, phase 5, many of the women from Canaan. This is a big circle of women in the US. They have purchased a lot of properties here. So it's a good example, and we have done the value additions to the best, the fencing we have done, the roads we have done, the trees we have planted, the power is there, water connectivity is there. We are now doing installation of street solar lighting, and people are building, people are constructing. School buses come there, every morning to pick kids to school. It is a good property. And as I've mentioned, it's barely 16.2 miles from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And this is a property that in the coming 5 years. Now it's going for 2.295 million. But now in the coming 5 years, this property will rent between 8 to 10 million. So it's a good example of property that you can purchase and really make money. And as I've mentioned, quite a number of people who are in diaspora are now building homes there, ideally to, when they come in Kenya, instead of going to hotels, to stay there, they can stay in their homes. And when they are not here, again, they can be able to use it to make money, to rent it out on Airbnb, which is taking shape around the world. And that way they can be able to make money here and also make money even when they are in diaspora. So it's a splendid example.
Thank you, Muteti.
Guidance, yeah.
So asante Muteti, and also for follow up of that question is that phase 1 and 2, we have already handed over to the Homeowners Association, and they have their own association, they have their own activities, and then next time in Kenya, I'll be a host. I can take you there and have a look. It's an amazing project. Asante.
No, my question.
Just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I had a question and like 2 questions actually. First question, what are the sizes of your plots? My second question, in case I have a plot somewhere, do you do the development?
Yeah. The sizes of our, thank you, sir. The sizes of our plots, quarters and 1/8. But what we are selling at Victory Gardens is basically 1/8. And other than selling that 1/8, we have common areas. We have 1 acre for kids park. We have 3 acres for park. The other day we are planting fruits at Victory Gardens. We have other common areas for communities. So, but what you buy is 50 by 100. And that's what we are selling. But if you want bigger ones, yes, we have quarters, especially for Amani Ridge in Kiambu. So it all depends on exactly what you want. If you have a property you want to develop, right now we are not able to develop other properties, but if it is a property within Optiven, we are able to connect you with the people who actually give us loans to build, and also the engineers. So, but because Optiven, we don't do direct construction, but we give referrals. However, that does not mean that we cannot help you. Maybe you are looking for a good contractor. It doesn't mean that we cannot refer you. Maybe you're looking for finances to develop. We can be able to connect you with the people who support our customers. Yes.
Okay, but in the meantime, just to avoid the hidden surplus of expenses, like for instance, you say like for like plot, it's gonna cost like maybe 2.5 million, okay? Yes. And maybe what the cost maybe to develop it, because you might buy it, but to develop it might be like 10 times, and you end up maybe losing your plot because they might even ask for more than.
Okay, what we do is that by the time you're buying this particular plot, the money we are quoting 2.295 includes the water, includes the solar street lighting, or the variation. The only other money that you may require is the money now to do your own homes. What we do is that we have several categories of homes. There are those homes that are mere bungalows, they are maisonettes, so we can be able to give you options, or you might have your own option. However, when you buy a property with Optiven, other than 2.295, you incur other costs. On an estimate, is about 8%, whereby this 8% of the market price caters for the lawyer, caters for the government taxes, caters for the registration of title, any other cost, but it cannot go more than 8%, especially for for a man rich, it is about 6%. 6% will cater for government taxes, the lawyer, the survey fees, and all those other fees. So leasehold, because a man needs leasehold, is 6%. The other ones for freehold is 8% on the market price. Market price, why do you say market price? You might buy a property with Optiven today, tukupatie title. The title is in the name of Optiven. Useme now hii sasa niko na title na completion document. Nitaiweka for another 4 years, 3 years. By the time you are going to transfer, the government valuer will literally come to the site and find, wow, these people have done water. There's water tower, there are roads. He made that particular property at maybe 6 million or 5 million. You pay duty based on the market price. That's why we put the word market price.
Okay, another last question. Okay, like for instance, yes, due to this pandemic, right now, I know you have some customers still active right now. Okay, they are still going on paying, or you have given them a waiver just to yeah, because some people most of them I know they're in Kenya. They're not working. Are you still demanding money from them, or you have given them a waiver just to overcome this pandemic?
What we have done is that we are giving them the free interest waiver, and about 80%, they have really appreciated the interest waiver and they are paying. We have about 20% who are totally unable to pay, and we are not penalizing them because we understand we are under this season. But 80%, they have picked this sweet interest-free waiver, and they have been making their contribution. But 20% of our clientele, we have about how many? We have about 2,000 people paying on installments. So 20% of those, they said, George, please let me see what happens whether I'll get my job back. And we are listening organization. We are human. Yes.
Oh, thank you. You're not too bad, yeah. That's good.
Okay. Someone asked. I think it was,
thank you.
I think it was Mary. Was it Mary? What kind of properties do you guys deal with? Mary, was that question answered? What kind of properties do you guys deal with? Oh, I think it.
I can take it again.
What kind of? Let me read it again. What kind of properties do you guys or does Optiven deal with? That's a question Mary asked.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Yes, we deal with the properties or value-added plots, freehold status, whereby you can be able to build your own home. Freehold means that it is not limited with the years. So you can live in that particular property, you can build in that particular property. When you go to be with Abraham, you leave it to your children live to their children. However, there has been agitation by government to ensure that all the properties within metropolis, they must change to leasehold. Leasehold means the government gives you rights to use that property for 99 years, subject to renewal. So you have an option either to renew or not to renew. So we have both leasehold and freehold. Leasehold, a good example is a man reached the place of peace because it's so near town. And of course, all the properties within the town of Nairobi, they are leasehold. You are granted by government to use. But of course, after 99 years, maybe won't be there. Your children can renew it. Those are the two types. But in terms of classification, we have 5 types of properties. There's what we call the bare plots. The bare plot means you buy a property. We have not put water, we have not put power, And a good example, it's a Sifa Gardens. I remember those properties we are selling them at 195,000. And these particular properties, they are usually far from the city of Nairobi. The other category of our properties is limited value added. This, we go buy a huge property, fence it, we just grade the roads, put the beacons, process that, and then we don't put power, we don't put water, but water is nearby, power is nearby. We have a medium value added. Now this one, tunaweka mabarabara ya maram, we do the wire mesh, we put water on site, we put power, and then it's ready for construction. Then we have a high value added or prime value added, like a Victory Gardens, whereby we are even massaging customers by putting solar street lighting, water is on the plot, we are planting fruits, we are planting trees, it's a gated community, we have house designs. And then we have the top notch, the Aman Ridge, whereby you're doing cabro roads, we are doing security wall, we are doing CCTV, we have high-end house designs. And of course, the higher the level of the property, the higher the price. Aman Ridge goes between 4.25 million all the way to 10 million for a quarter plot. So those are the levels of our properties. We call them the 5 levels of Optiven properties. And basically all of them, they are plots. You know, the houses you see people building, they build after finishing buying these value added plots. Thank you.
Hi, this is Sam. I had another question for you. So you talked about how industries or companies are evolving or are changing in Kenya. Has Optiven ever thought about getting into a kind of a partnership with the, let's say, the diaspora? And can that do like something like, let's say, a farming project? Food security is one key thing that is important for any country. Has Optiven ever thought about such kind of a thing?
What we do is that we really want to focus and perfect this real estate. Of course, you know that there are a lot of challenges in real estate, especially the real estate players. So what we have been mutating to going forward is basically now doing construction for our customers. So we are in the discussions with the higher level, with the board, to see whether we can now graduate from just selling value-added plots to building for customers. So somebody told me that there is power in focus. When you focus to do one thing, you do it so well. So we are thinking that since there's a lot of demand for residential real estate, you know, people having their own homes, that's the direction affordable home. Even that's the area we want to mutate to provide affordable homes for our people. Also realize that not many people who are able to afford these high-end houses. So we've been doing partnership, like we said earlier. We have partnered with the Kenya Women Circle. We have partnered with Kenya Diaspora Circle. We have partnered with the NCBA to ensure that we provide homes. So we don't want to over-diversify to avoid losing vision. Remember, real estate is a capital intensive. So if you are so split, you might end up not delivering the promise that you promise customers. So we choose to focus on real estate, and then we leave other sectors like tourism, you know, agribusiness, food supply to other experts. But however, we inspire entrepreneurs who want to go to food production or manufacturing. So that's it.
Oh, my question, thank you very much. My question is on diaspora trends. You've traveled quite a number of countries. What trends have you seen? What can we learn from those trends? And you mentioned that you've seen a lot of investments from Optiven partnering with, you know, circles, and you mentioned a women's group, and how men are slightly lagging behind. How can you also encourage the men to invest? What are your comments, or what lessons can you share that you've learned in regards to the diaspora trends?
Let me say that the spirit of diaspora, I think all the people I've met, you know, South Africa, Europe, the US, Dubai, you listen to any diaspora, they really want to have something at home. But I must confess that most of them have been very frustrated, you know. they have gotten a lot of frustrations from their relatives, from their friends. You know, I have had many testimonials. You know, people came to me and say, George, I gave my sister 5 million, I lost it. I gave my father 2 million, I lost it. And let me say that we should be embarrassed of ourselves because, you know, a lot have been, you know, a lot of diaspora have lost money to their relatives and also Kenyan companies. So I think cry. So every diaspora person is looking for somebody they can really trust. And let me tell you, it has become, you know, the norm that every person who comes to the diaspora, they look at you with suspicion. Are you really going to deliver? I remember one time I went to Europe and I did a presentation and they confronted me and say, "Mumekuja kuiba pesa yetu." You know, I persuaded her, please just commit. She committed with 50 euros. Later on, she came to Kenya and visited Victoria Gardens. When she saw the kind of development, of course, she said, George, I'm sorry. I think I really abused you, but now I can see you are real. Today, as we talk, this lady is one of the owners of one of the most beautiful home, Victoria Gardens. And I always joke with her. We call her Rosabella. That remember, ulinisainisha kidole, nilipiga kidole, nikatoa ID. I ensure you are you belong to Optivate. It was very interesting. So that's a cry for many diasporians. But what I've seen is that many are now forming teams and groups to invest together. Because when you are a team, your voice is bigger. So if somebody messes up with your property, you can easily take action to this particular person. And that's why we find that these women forming groups, they are forming associations that are very strong, even in negotiations. They are able to put you to the corner. In fact, most of them, they are also negotiating with the Kenyan banks. The time often is getting loans at 13%, they are able to get with a mere 8.5%. Why? They are a team. And I would encourage especially men, folks, to form those kind of teams to ensure that they are able to lobby for themselves. There's one association that I really like, and I think the owner is my friend. This association called Kenmen, you know, Kenmen, for Anthony Come Now. And a few times I've sponsored their events, and I think that's a way to go, because other than investing, also bringing men together, because sometimes we men, we take things for granted. We only panic when we are after 40 years. You realize that your friends have got something, you don't have anything. But it's never too late. Somebody said, never to be too late to take a decision. We make a decision. We can still encourage our men to take action, invest. Why? Nelson Mandela became a president at age 75. So even those men that are maybe 50 years, 55, 60 years, and maybe they are saying they're getting depression because they have not invested, we can still come together and encourage them that it's never too late to invest. You can come 3 people together, 4 people together. You can buy one property 1 year, another 2 years, another property, another year, another property. That's how our sisters beat us. They are able to come together. There's a team in Dallas. They call themselves 7 Sisters. You know, we partnered 5 years ago. I remember the first year they were buying a property from Optivate worth $350,000. Today they have about 18 properties, the 7 of them. Now they are debating, where do we build, where do we sell? So those kind of teamwork and coming together can encourage our men to keep investing. So we have a job, George Washuri and the SAMRACK and others. We have a job to encourage these men not to lose hope, because when a man loses once, they totally lose hope. But ladies can even lose twice, you know, and they keep investing. So I think we have a job to do, and those are the trends. Every diasporians want to have something home. We've been having a program through our diaspora department whereby we have been partnering with the diaspora who are coming back. And what we have decided as Optivate is to give this diaspora a chance, especially to partner with Optivate in what they are doing. One of the diasporians who came from Europe, you know, he came to Kenya and set up the supply business. He has been supplying stones to different organizations. And he came to Optivate and we told him, can you supply stone for Amani? We signed a contract. As we talk, this guy is able to say sand, ballast, and stone. And he's now able to get more network, expand his business. We have also made a decision. Those who want to start business, we have been mentoring about, I think, 5 now, who are now settling to do business in Kenya. One of them is doing ICT. And the guy is doing so well. Right now he's selling antivirus. So our doors are not closed, not only selling properties, but these are our people, these are our brothers, our sisters. We can be able to partner with them. The last one is in Kitengela. There's the Australian who came from Dallas, Texas, set up a shop, a handler in Kitengela. And the guy for the last 2 years, he is doing well. He's doing a lot of stuff, you know. And the other day he got a contract to supply cement, and you're also giving business. So other than us selling properties, we are also partnering those returnees that are coming back to Kenya.
Very good examples, Mr. George, and I appreciate that one. I had a follow-up question for you. So my wife and I invested in the Kilimo to Jijenge with the hope of setting up greenhouses, but you know what happened down there. What has Optiven done since that debacle to kind of like, you know, get back on track or probably assist investors like us who are interested in setting up greenhouses and what to do?
Sorry, in the middle.
Hi, if you didn't hear my question was...
in the middle.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect. So my question was pertaining to Kilimo to Jijenge. My wife and I invested in the Kilimo to Jijenge with the hope of setting up greenhouses there based on what was sold to us. But that didn't happen because of some legal issues pertaining to the person who was supposed to be supplying the greenhouses. Do you have any update on that project? Is it still on? And what can an investor like us do in terms of ensuring that we follow up through with everything?
Well, thank you very much. I remember this was very ambitious project. You know, we had a partnership with the SME, Gadoni, the supplier of greenhouse, the manager, and we were able to develop 200 acres. We did the water system, we did the water storage, we fenced the whole property. We actually did the tilling of the land, and it was all systems go, and we were ready. And customers, of course, paid for these greenhouses. But of course, as they say, the lady never delivered. And of course, the Optiven and the customers, we took the lady to Kiabu court, and now we have been in court for the last 3 years now. But the good thing is that you know, Optiven, we did not abandon the project. So we hired a manager there called Khalil. We have Mr. Maina there, the caretaker. And I'm so encouraged by the customers who are in Kenya because they have been doing a lot of farming. You go to that particular project, they're doing the farming as they await the outcome of the court case. And I'm happy that we may not be able to discuss it here because we might be caught on, I know we are recording, we'll be caught of discussing an issue in court. I think that justice will be done and they will be able to pay back the people who had paid for greenhouses. But I'm happy that the people who planned, that land we were selling it at, I think it was either 250 or something. And now the value there now is almost double. So we have been ground, and it's only that you are not in Kenya, so you're not able to farm. But we have people like Kenanse who has been farming from the US, and they have been selling these onions, capsicum, and the place looks like Israel. So we are hoping that once the case is over, we will be able to have people do the farming. And the land is very fertile. Wow, the land is good. So property there, I hope you got your title deed. And if not, you better process because now you might pay more tax because the value is going up very quickly. Thank you.
Okay, my last question before I open up once again to the members to ask question. Let me take you back to the NCBA partnership. Assume someone is a customer of NCBA. How can they benefit from Optiven? What's the process of acquiring a property through NCBA?
Well, thank you. The NCBA agreement is that as soon as the customer identify a property, either in any of our projects, could be a Manridge, could be Victory Gardens, could be Garden of Joy, as soon as you identify the property, you submit some requirement you can share. You know, you have to show them proof of funds. Of course, if you're a customer, it's easier because if you're a customer, you only require to fill a form. We are working with a lady, diaspora lady there. We can be able to send you all the requirements. You fill up a form, and then you only, the Optiven submits the copy of the title deed to the bank. Once the copy is submitted, they have their own lawyers. you appoint the lawyer that you require to do the due diligence and also the registration. So the cost of land is paid to Optiven, and then depending on the house you choose for them to construct for you, the money goes to the contractor. And the good thing is that the contractor belongs to the bank. So they have the control, because in the past they have discovered that contractors don't finish. So they have already shortlisted their own contractors, so they pay the money directly to them. So it's as simple as that. But of course, if somebody is interested, we can be able to send the list of requirements. I think there are about 7 items they require. But of course, Optiven has to submit the copy of a title deed and also the copy of the deed plan and also change of user, which we already have them. So it becomes very, very easy. If you're a customer, it's easy because you're not starting from unknown. They know you already.
Okay, very good. Anyone else with a question in the group? Mr. George, as we're waiting for someone else to ask a question, could you mention Optiven's CR, corporate social responsibility, CSR? What do you guys do outside helping people invest or get properties in Kenya?
Wow, thank you very much. We actually humble to say that we channel 5% of our resources to a foundation, and the reason why we registered Optiven Foundation is because of accountability. We are able to be audited by government because we are tax exempt, and for the last couple of years we have been able to look at the area of education. We have been sponsoring hundreds and hundreds of children across 47 counties. Every year we pick 2 orphans and then we sponsor them from Form 1 all the way to the university, and we have quite a number across the counties. The same way we discovered that many people are sponsoring the sharp students, we also take a few that are gifted. We also sponsor them. We have quite a number day schools, and this year we partnered with Fusion Capital from UK. They gave us 10 million also to sponsor these gifted students, and they weren't all for COVID. The money is still in the bank, but you're going to quite a number, all the counties to sponsor access the day school. Other than that, we also do a lot of partnership in terms of health. We have been running a program we are calling Mobility That Brings a Smile, whereby we have been buying wheelchairs to support people with, with back problems, people who cannot walk. And we have done this in Mulanga, we have been in Loitoktok, in Mombasa. I think we have done about 25 counties giving these wheelchairs for people to be able to move. Once they move, they smile. And of course, we partner a lot with the issues of greening the environment. We have been working with the county to fight this thing called plastics. And we have done programs in Kajiado to clean up their cities, teaching the communities how to clean up the cities. And it has been very, very exciting. And of course, right now we have committed some funding, especially in the areas of people who deserve food right now, because there are many people who are not working. We have a big program in Kibera. We are doing it with an association there. Today, we are in Mathare. We have a program in Mathare who we are feeding the families that cannot afford the food. We have been having programs in 5 more counties. And what we are doing is that we are working with the local authorities. We are working with the churches to identify those old parents, the shoshos, that have nobody to help them. And what we are doing is that we are giving them every week 2,000. And then there's accountability. We ensure that that money buys food. And this has been happening. And we realize that the needs are more. The other day, we were approached by this consortium made by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta to sponsor the consortium to support more people. So we're able to give some little support there. And we are very active as a foundation to ensure that we are lifting the standards of our brothers and our sisters. Of course, we have also partnered with a number of people who run, charity wings here in Kenya. And that's the call. God expects us to support one another. The resources we have, they are not our resources. These resources, we are only custodians. We are taking resources. So we are very happy to say that we are able to make somebody smile. Unless Maggie wants to add something on CSR. Margaret. Or Muteti.
I've missed that point.
All right. Yeah. Maybe on CSR, I could add that we also run a graduate mentorship program whereby students who have cleared or about to clear university, they come to Optiven. We train them on various sectors, and through that, quite a number of them have been able to get jobs with, especially in private sector, and also with that NGOs, UN organizations, and that way we also contribute in jobs, creating jobs, because we have a very big vision that come the year 2030, we want to create 30,000 jobs. So through the graduate mentorship, that way we have been able to also give back to the society. Of course, there's a home we are supporting in Kayole. It's called Soweto Children's Home. There's this lady from Western Kenya who brings kids together who have been abandoned. Maybe because some of the ladies in Kenya, when they give birth to kids and maybe they are HIV positive, they abandon them. So this lady in Kayole bring these kids together in a home. It's called Soweto Children's Home. So we are supporting these ones. We visited them, and even some of our clients, whenever they come to Kenya, they get an opportunity to go and visit these ones, and that way we are able to support, and that way we give back to the society. So that is a few examples of CSR programs. Of course, time and again, we create time in spite of our busy schedule to visit schools, and to go to, we met the children there, we talk to them, and that way we're able to uplift their morale and become better.
Okay, I believe Mary has a question. Mary, are you there? Mary has a question. She sent it on the chat room. Her question is, what other towns or areas do you have the properties, and how do you become, what are the requirements of becoming an Optiven member? That is a question from Mary.
Wow, thank you, Mary. Asante sana, Mary. We value you and welcome to Optiven. We say that Optiven is a family, and we are happy that you are sending us questions. Yes, we have some properties in Nyeri. There's a property we call Peace Gardens. This is a property whereby you can do rental houses. It's not too far from Kimathi University, and it's only 500 meters of the tarmac, Nyeri Nyahururu Road. They're also near the Giraffe Ark, Hekima Gardens. Giraffe Ark is a hotel there, so we have a place there, quarter acres. We are selling at 495 for a quarter acre. And then we are also in Nanyuki. Nanyuki, we are selling half acres just near the British Army, or near the Cobbs Hotel. We are actually the neighborhood of the Cobbs Hotel. We are selling half an acre at 1.8. We have done the road. We have the water is on the nearby. A very nice property. We are in Thika, Gitaga Road. This is a high end. We have is a gated community, and we are selling 1/8 there at 2.6 million. We have put the water there, the power there. The property is right on tarmac on Gitanga Road. We are also we have a portion in Thika Greens. Yeah, this is a property where Equity Bank is financing 90%. Thika Greens is a golf resort plots. You can buy a plot next to a golf resort. So we have a partnership there with the Equity Bank. We have about 200 plots that we are selling. You only require to pay 10%. Equity Bank gives you 90%. It's an amazing project whereby you can play golf right there. Of course, we are in the very popular one, Amani in Kiambu, near Kamete Corner. And of course, Kitengela Victory Gardens, we are also in Machakos. Machakos, we have like 6 projects. And those are the that we are in. We shall keep going as God provides resources for Optiven. How do you become an Optiven member? Easy. Immediately you buy a property with us, you become part and parcel of this happy family. And they are rights. You come to Kenya, you are stuck. Your ATM is not working. You only need to call Jerusha, and then we sort you out. You start airport. You have a party called Optiven. You call, we sort you out, and other things that we do for people. You come to Kenya, you renew your passport. Umeona queue ni ndefu, we queue for you at the offices of the government. Maybe you want to renew your ID. We have supported out of diasporas with old IDs, ensuring that we fast track the renewal of these documents and other errands that we do for diaspora. Wengine wanatutuma, wanasema, we George, enda hapo, my sister ako hapo Koinange, I want this and this, and they're not picking my phones. So we have departments to support diaspora. So we are your legs. So you are there, just send us. We are here for you. Thank you.
Double Impact, are you there?
This is Cam now here. Hey, what's up? Thank you, Mr. George, for the shout out. I'm talking slowly because of my son here, 3-month-old. What's your plan for the after COVID? What's your plan, especially business-wise? And thank you for the shout out. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Anthony. Yeah, what is the plan after COVID-19? Of course, as an organization, we have been doing a lot of changes. You know, somebody commented in a certain forum I'm in for private sector and says that we had plans for the year 2020, but now those plans are now not very useful. We have to replan again. So we have been using this particular period to replan, look at our strategy, how we can do things differently. And for us, we are thinking that the time to go to the next level in terms of power projects is the next big thing, whereby when a customer like Anthony comes to buy a property with us, you are not worried about where or what you require, be it security, be it access. You know, that's what we are thinking about, so that we can be able to enable many Kenyans to acquire homes. Because we also realized that when the COVID came, we never went to the offices. Everybody was sent to their houses, you know. And another day, a man was making a joke that he never knew his house is that small until himself, the children, and the wife were in that particular home. So many people have got a dream of having their own homes. And Optiven, we want to upscale our operations to ensure that we offer that dream to many Kenyans who want better homes in better places. And that's why we are very determined to ensure that wherever we are, our projects, we are transforming them. Anthony, when you go to Victory today, maybe you came last year, you see a totally different project. So that's what we want to do differently. And of course, the way we work, you know, we are no longer thinking of coming back to the office the way it used to be. We have discovered that you can work at home 50%, 50% in the office. And of course, we have been learning a lot in terms of digital platform, whereby we are able to do things digitally, we're able to communicate to our customers digitally, we are able to do things slightly different. So those are the thoughts that we have. And of course, we also realize that, you know, there are some things that we must change, you know, the way we do things, you know, the way we used to do paperwork. I'm happy that the less the paperwork, the more trees that grows. In terms of CSR, yes, now we have learned it's not a must that you must buy people unga or sugar or rice. You can be able to sponsor them through, you know, a cash system.
Thank you very much.
Let me can I add one more thing?
Okay.
I think I saw today in the news that the COVID disease is less in Africa. The only place is a lot is South Africa. So I think it's gonna. I'm looking at. I'm visioning. I'm seeing that immediately after COVID, a lot of people are gonna start coming home because I think people are secure. There's no less COVID in Africa, so people will start coming. So that's what I'm thinking.
I think, yes, I think, Anthony, you are right. Yeah, we will see a lot more people coming home. And we also seen even non-Kenyans, you know, looking for businesses to buy. We have seen a huge partnership whereby we have these foreign direct investors. They are putting money in Kenyan companies and buying stake to Kenyan companies. And you've seen a lot of people who want to set the base in Kenya to do business right here in Kenya. As we talk, there's a lot of rebirth, especially in our manufacturing sector. And you've seen a lot of foreign companies coming to Kenya to ensure that they have a cake of this manufacturing sector. We have seen a lot of reduction, especially on imports. You know, we used to import everything. And we have seen a lot of buy Kenya, build Kenya slogans going around. Even Kenya themselves, You know, I went to a shop and somebody said, I cannot buy a mask from any other country. I can only buy a mask manufactured here in Kenya. And this is a good thing, especially in Kenyan mindset. So you see a lot of in-house cottage industries coming up, and also people with money coming to invest right here in Kenya. Today, the other day, we crossed the border with Tanzania, and we saw a lot of activities going on. You know, the prices of onions were going up, and the people from Nyandarua who grow potatoes, they were celebrating because they were now able to take their potatoes to Mombasa as opposed to products coming from Tanzania. So, of course, now we are negotiating the border to open up, but you see a lot of changes, especially not only in Kenya, but across Africa, because Africans have discovered they can be able to produce things on themselves. And we are happy when we see a lot of innovations coming up. You know, the other day we saw Kemri, you know, doing their own ventilators. We saw Kenyans trying to do stuff. And we have seen a lot of innovations, not only in manufacturing, also on ICT. Personally, I've seen a lot of young people developing applications that are like amazing, unique, that can make work easier, especially for SMEs.
Thank you much. Thank you very much, George. As we wind up, I'll ask you to say like your final remarks. But just to say thank you very much for all you do for the diaspora. We know you've invested a lot of time, a lot of your resources to tap into the diaspora market. And I can tell you the diaspora, we are ready to partner with Optiven. We are ready to invest back home because East-West, home is best. And as we face the COVID-19 season, what word or hope can you offer to the people who are going to lose a job, have lost a job, are not used to wearing a mask all the time, are used to, are away from schools, you know, are not celebrating their birthdays with their cousins, with their friends. They're not playing outside, no contact sports, no football. There are a lot of things that have changed, and a lot of people are isolated and they're indoors. What word of hope can you offer to those people who are in despair, who are on the verge of maybe giving up? And once again, thank you, George and Optiven for all that you've done, and especially for the corporate social responsibility of meeting the needs of hundreds and millions of people. And may God richly bless you. And let us not forget, George is an author of, I believe, 2 books. And yes, for more information, he'll let us know. And after this, we can say thank you and we can close. Mr. George.
Wow, thank you, Sam, and thank you to all the SAMRACkians. Thank you to all those who are listening and those who are going to listen after this show. Let me encourage the people out there that challenges don't last forever. You know, challenges come and they end. The pandemics come and they'll come to an end. I was reading a story in 1918 whereby there was this other flu that cleared a lot of people, but some people still survived. So even this particular time is not as bad as that one. We need to encourage ourselves, encourage other people that pandemics don't last for long. However, when you're in that particular house, you know, check out on people, call up your friends, you know, because when you check on people, other people will check on you. So it's not the time to give up and give in, because when you give up, things don't work out. When you give up, you don't think. It's the time to trust in the Lord. You pray. When things are thick, when you have lost that particular job, there is always God in heaven, and this God answers prayers. We have seen Optiven praying for our customers. We had a customer in the US, actually 3 of them, who are COVID. They were actually sick. And we prayed on Wednesday, prayer and fasting. And I am so happy. These customers were declared free. They are now totally healed. We had a few customers in Europe. We prayed for them. Now, Kapona. Right now, we have 6 customers across the group we are praying for. So there is power in prayer, because God is a God who changes not. Us is just ask for him. And of course, those who are saying, hey, George Bwana, kazi imeisha, I would encourage them, find something to do. You know, don't just stay in the house gazing, because that can cause depression, can cause stress. Find something to do. You can even learn a new talent. You can learn how to play guitar or piano. Find something And then something else that I also do myself, be careful on what you read. Don't read all the news. Select what you read, because what you put in that system in the head is what will come out. When you read a lot of negativity, let me tell you, number one, you have headache. You'll also become toxic. You become negative. So you have a choice to skip. If something doesn't add value, skip it. Just choose the right information, the right videos to listen to, and that one can give you some energy, some morale. Those with children and families, especially spouses, this is the time you don't want chaos. This is the time you need to learn a word called pest. Please, excuse me, thank you, sorry. Because you're in that particular home, find all the words to find peace, because you cannot afford kukosana na your spouse. This is the time to go to your children, check what they're doing from school online. Have some games with them. For me, I have a young daughter. And this young daughter, now amezoea, nasema dadi leo tunacheza, leo tunaenda walk. Find something to do with these particular children so that they also get used to you. And those who are saying, I'm so bored, please don't develop that behavior of going and take one when you're hiding. Please, this is not a drink. If you must drink, drink the Holy Spirit. Because when you drink alcohol, it will mess up. So just drink the Spirit of God. And then finally, let's keep our vision of whatever you had planned to do the year 2020. Keep generalizing. It is never too late. God can still come and enable you to achieve that particular vision. That's my encouragement. Praying for one another, being there, trusting in God, and not giving up. This is not the time to give up. Opportunities will come. Open up your eyes. See the opportunities that COVID has brought, that you are able to participate. Maybe you are very good on ICT. You can say, I'll be marketing this particular product. And you can be paid on marketing. There are many things that we can open up, because they say that pandemics also bring revolution. There are many industries that are going to be born. So ask yourself, what new thing can you do? How can you be able to think differently? Because there's something that you can do even during this time of COVID-19. May God bless our people. May God keep you safe. May God protect you. If you want to catch up with George Washiri, I am very active. I'm actually a blogger. A blog called www.georgewashiri.com. I am early in the morning. I write stuff. And of course, you can also follow me on my FB. I think I have about almost 50,000 followers. You can check George Washiri FB. I post twice daily, some messages to encourage people. And of course, you can also follow us on Optiven, www.optiven.co.ke, and you can find us right there. If you want to join the foundation, you can log in www.optivenfoundation.org. So we are very, very much online, and we can be able to partner. And allow me, Sam, to thank the Samrackians for supporting us. I know that in that particular forum, we have a lot of customers. You had one asking, and the other one, so we have many customers who have been supporting the Optiven vision. So I want to thank them on behalf of Optiven. Just know that we really value you. As we celebrate 20 years in business, or 20 years of transformation, we want to appreciate the support the diasporians have given to us. When you come to the US, we get a lot of good reception. I remember one time, Sam, you received us so well, and we don't take it for granted. When you come to Kenya, please don't keep quiet. We're in Barclays Plaza. You can talk to us. My number is public. You can call us. Muteti's number is public. You can call us. Maggie is public. We are here for you. Hatujifishi, ukifika. If you don't pick phone, send a text. I'll call you back. God bless you. God bless Kenyans in diaspora and Kenyans in Kenya.
Thank you very much, George, and your Optiven team. Indeed, it's been a pleasure hosting you this evening, and God bless you once again for all the good work you do and for partnering with the diaspora. Looking forward to a more formidable relationship, and we hope now that the shilling is it high or low right now?
It's high. It's high.
Now that the shilling is high, expect more investment from us. Otherwise, God bless you and have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Asanteni.
Asante. Thank you.